The following program is being brought to you courtesy Hypertronics, G3 Foundation, and Garnick Property Management Services.
So today we're in Roxbury, Tobago, and I'm here with some very talented youths in different youth clubs. And today we're going to be talking about discipline, production, tolerance, the search for independence. So Cindy, how has discipline, production, and tolerance benefited your life?
Well, Gary, I think it's important to note that discipline, tolerance, and production has been integral in my development without me even acknowledging it. Sometimes we have experiences that we don't know help to develop us for the better. And for me, I would have actively realized that discipline is something needed for me to grow within my various spaces. For example, a lot of the time, procrastination beats me as a youth leader, as a student, as a person. So constantly being disciplined in terms of how I plan and schedule my activities helps me to overcome a lot of the challenges that I would have faced in terms of meeting my deadlines, ensuring that my organization activities are done, and even in me balancing everything that I do. I sit on the head of several executives, and often it's a challenge balancing everything and still maintaining a personal life as a youth. However, because of all the responsibility that is given to me, I have to ensure that, one, I am disciplined in how I manage myself and manage the affairs of the people who hold me accountable. Two, I am tolerant and I have tolerance in terms of the different opinions and perspectives that people would bring to me. And three, I am able to produce a certain level of productivity within my various capacities as a youth, as an individual, as a student of life.
So Cindy, what about the youths that doesn't have the same support base as certain other youths? What do you have to say? What is your input on this?
I think we all have to acknowledge that in life, each background would be specific and unique to each individual, and everything isn't perfect. We as youth have to overcome a lot of challenges, even if it's in general different from others. But we have to find a bit of self-motivation. We have to understand and prioritize what are the goals and itemize what are the steps we need in order to get there. When we acknowledge that and we understand that there's something more than just the environment keeping us from achieving, that we are also our biggest obstacle or greatest advancement in how we can achieve, then we are able to dig within ourselves and say, well, I may not have the support around me, but I would be able to provide myself with some motivation, with some level of understanding that I can achieve this if I put my mind to it and I work hard for what I want.
So Loyan, so I know you're a national scholarship winner, and that's superb, that's brilliant, that's top class. What's your secret to not come from the most prestige school to be a national scholarship winner? What's your secret? What's how do you set out for that?
Well, I don't really think it is a secret. I believe that what would have played an integral role in my life back then, it would have been the support systems of my teachers and parents. So that would have propelled me and pushed me, despite people would have said that my school isn't prestige or that my school, nothing good comes from it. They were able to help me to show or to prove people wrong that something good can come out of Roxbury, right? So I believe that you need support, you need guidance, you need people to propel you forward in order for you to gain your own discipline in your life and to accept that productivity in order to push you forward.
Tyreek, so being the president and the head of your youth club, how do you, push youths to go in the right direction, or how do you motivate the youths for discipline, production, and tolerance?
Well, basically, what I try to do with my boys, as I refer to them, I let them bring them on an evening on the field, and we will sit and have chats before we begin playing football. So I always try to tell them, don't, you know how young boys will tend to look to a superstar or a big sportsman to be a role model and a guideline. I try to tell them, look within the community. Look for persons who have impacted your village. Look for persons who give off a good energy, who influence you to do the right thing. So most of them tend to come to me as their role model. So what I try to do is I will show them to tolerate a certain kind of behavior and to tolerate a certain level of respect from other people, so that you don't be going down into that column that they have young boys labeled as for today. Because you know the way how things going, that every young boy is either they're on the bad side, they're smoking or you're drinking or you're a delinquent in that sense. What I try to do now is I try to tell them that, you know, everyone deserves a chance. So no matter if you made a mistake today or you do the wrong thing today, don't beat up yourself on that. You could come back and you come and you talk to me, you talk to somebody around, and it'll give you the guidelines that you need to go forward. Because I would have never been where I is today without the help of Mr. Hazel. I made bad decisions in my life. I go down the wrong road, but thankful that I chose him as my role model and my influencer, that he helped me when I was down. So now I want to help them when they are down.
So Jai, long time no see, you know. Alright, so this is my boy Jai Shepherd. You know, we were former teammates. And Jai, how would you explain your journey so far as a footballer? What obstacles have you overcome to reach where you are today?
Well, firstly, you know, me moving from Roxborough to Tobago to go to Trinidad to attend Presentation College San Fernando. Well, to play football, at first it was tough because, you know, me moving and leaving my family and friends to go to a place where I didn't really knew anyone was challenging for me. And all in all, discipline played a big part, well, in that aspect, because, well, I had to, you know, physically stay grounded and move on with my life. Back to football now. For me, it was challenging, you know, trying to make a national team, trying to make the school team, because coming from Tobago, I felt like I didn't belong there, because for some reason, some people, you know, feel like, you know, Tobago is lesser than Trinidad. And now that I'm there, I wouldn't say that is the case, but I believe that everybody deserves a fair chance, and you just need to show what you can do, and in the end, you will achieve what you want.
Franklin, so as I understand, you're in track and field, and I know you went in the Griffith games and you're, as you said, you're top class. So Franklin, how has your journey been so far? How has discipline, production, and tolerance assisted you in your journey?
As an international athlete, it was very difficult getting to the point where I am today. I always, from a very young age, I was very interested in track and field. It's something, a passion of mine, and I just wanted to do it from a very young age. Discipline really helped me along the way in terms of my journey. I had to balance my schoolwork and keep my grades up, because me trying to get a scholarship at the time, I had to keep my grades, because what they usually tell us, you're a student athlete, a student first. So you have to get your grades up, and discipline really helped me in terms of the long hours of study and the long hours on the track. Even being a coachable athlete, not talking back to your coach, showing respect. I would look at some of my friends who didn't make it or who fell off by the side, and you notice that, you know, they were always, you know, not focused, chilling on, for example, sitting on the block or drinking or whatever. And some of them were even better than me, and in terms of talent, however, they didn't have the discipline to finish the journey, basically. So sometimes I'm at a university in America, And sometimes I'll come back and, you're not seeing any improvement because they weren't focused on and they weren't disciplined. So discipline, in my opinion, in terms of discipline, tolerance, and production, that's the main thing that stood out to me.
So Ashley, being on the national netball team and trying to play national on a 21 team, isn't it? How has this been? Has this been challenging? How has your experience been, and how has discipline, production, and tolerance assisted you in, making the national team and having the grit and grind to go for trials in the 21 team? How has it, benefited you?
Well, it's been very challenging. When I now started off, it's been like, when at my age, I was only like 14, 13, and most of the bigger girls, they don't want me to play with them, or they say I was too young, or I couldn't catch, and them thing. And then as I hit the age of 14, I started off playing defense, and and my coach always tell me, Ashley, I have to go and try out for the under 16 team. I could make it, I could do this, And then it had this one day, I came at trials, and the lady told me that I didn't make the team. But after she come back and say you have to be in Trinidad this Saturday morning to try out and stuff. And I was the only person from Tobago, well, the last person from Tobago to make it was me and 5 other girls. Only person, and I was the only defense that they called to play on the team. And from then, it been like, ever since then, my journey has been like kind of rough because they always want me to go and play with different teams or travel different places, and like to keep up my grades and things have been real tough because I always falling back. Every week I had to travel to Trinidad or to go Jamaica, or So for me, it wasn't good at all.
Shaquan, so how has your educational journey been so far?
Well, my educational journey so far, it wasn't an easy one. I attended the Mason Secondary School for 5 years. I passed through Mason Secondary School. I took part in various activities, in various clubs. I was on the executive board for almost every club that I took part in. I was in sports, field events, and I was so involved in so much, I think I lose track of my work, like being able to keep up with grades and things like that. And when I left Mason Secondary School, I wasn't feeling that as though I did my best. I left that I was the valedictorian for the class of 2017. That is a good achievement for me because I was surprised to know what I have been doing in this school, to say the students and the teachers took me to be the valedictorian. So that is something good for me. I left Mason Secondary School with only 3 CXC subjects and 1 CVQ. And I tell myself that, Shaquan, what is this? This is not you. So I came out and I told my parents, but deep down inside, I was feeling so bad. A person expected a higher level of me, and this is what I brought to the table. And I sat there and I said, Lord, this is not who I am. I want to take this further. And sitting there and I'm talking to myself, I said, I was 18 years at that time. And then when I went, I said I will repeat. I'll repeat in another school to see if I could at least get more than what I left with. And I went to Goodwood High School. I went to this specific school, and they said that I was too old to repeat in that school. So I tell myself, if this school could say I'm too old to repeat, what the other schools will say. And from that point, I said, I ain't self fighting up to go and repeat again. Then something talked to me and said, try Pentecostal Light and Life High School. Fast I pulled me close and I said, let me go down my Pentecostal Light and Life and sign up to see if I will get through. From that point, I've been calling the school, Shaquan Allen get through, Shaquan Allen get you to repeat. When I went there was like, Shaquan Allen, if you come here, you have to go back to 4th form. And in my mind, I was like, but I could be a granny when I done school. So I telling myself, wait, but if this is the only chance I have, why not take it? So I took the chance. I said, I had to forget what friends say, what family say, and what others had to say about me going back to 4th form. And then when I started the school, I was like, but I'm the only 18-year-old in this class. Yeah, I'm feeling that type of way. And then I said, you know what? Shaquan, you can't study this. At this point in time, at this point in your life, it's either you want to move forward or just stay right where it is. And I disciplined myself to say, Shaquan, you're not living here with no trees. You're not a planter or a farmer. So you're not living here with any trees. Going through. I was like, miss, I don't have a laptop to do no SPA. She said, Shaquan, I don't know what to tell you, but you had to try. And I say, Me say, no, you see my lunchtime and my break time and after school, once they allow me to use the laptop, I stay and I doing all my SBAs and so on. Because when I was in Mason, I didn't have all that resources growing up. I didn't have parents couldn't have purchased this and purchased that. So it was really, really tough. And I said I would dedicate my time just to get this. And when the person's asking me, Shaquan, girl, how you repeating here? How was CXC? So they're looking towards me for motivation. And I set myself that a motivate person. So whoever come to me and ask me about this, I'll be brave and I'll be bold to answer them. I wouldn't be scared and say, I didn't this and that, but I was be able to use my experience to help others. And going to fifth form, there was like Shaquan could lead assembly, Shaquan could do this. So it was like more opportunities to me while I was going at Pentecostal Light and Life, and my name was out there. Leaving Pentecostal Light and Life High School, I left with 6 subjects, all 4 1s and 2 2s. And when I saw the results, I started crying because I know where I have been and where I am now. And on graduation day, I got a couple awards for these first subjects, and I also get the first leadership award at Pentecostal Light and Life High School. And when I was there, I'm like, miss my name. When I hear they say Shaquan, I'm like, but I was not only here for 2 years. How come? And I'm then like, praise God. And all of this was because of the mercy of God and my trust and my discipline. The way how I pushed forth myself and said that no matter where you're in life or no matter where you come from in life, it always have a way to come out. And I use my experience to motivate and inspire other young persons to always put your best foot forward. Don't let nobody tell you can't do this and you can't do that. Because as long as you set your mind to something, and I believe that anybody could, because if I could do it, then anybody else could do it. So that was my experience, and I love to share that story. Person might see it as a, why is she talking that story? But that is a story that I love, and I know that it will impact a lot of young persons in today's society.
My journey, it has been an uphill, downhill journey. As I said before, I will go training, and as I say, I'll get fired down simply because of my name. And, they will say that, but they will never see the performances on the field, or they will never see the 100 push-ups in my room, or they will never see the 10 miles run on a treadmill. They will never see the blood, sweat, and tears put in to my ambition, which is football. And, when I went away nameless. I went away as just another kid. And to be just another kid, just another, opportunity, it pushed me 10 times harder to go and step forth with my goal and to make a name up there in Sunderland. It's really, it really opened my eyes to know, that I'm more, and that I am Gary Griffith III and just not Gary Griffith. And coming back down to Trinidad, it gave me a sense of demeanor to know that, I am me, and my hard work will get me somewhere in life, and to go with God, to step in His praise, and just to keep my head up all the time, and and also to be surrounded by a lot of ambitious youths. To hear these stories, it really opens my eyes. What hard work truly is, and the charisma, the charismatic behavior of each and every one of us here is incredible. It's a great vibe to be around, and I'm truly honored to hear each and every one of your stories. So I'm Gary Griffith. I'm signing off. Stay tuned to OMG TT, OMG Mag.
We now leave Tobago and head back to Trinidad to meet some more young people who are using discipline, production, and tolerance to their advantage. Join us next time as we continue our search for independence individually and nationally. Right here on OMG TV. This program was brought to you courtesy Hypertronics, G3 Foundation, and Garnick Property Management Services.